Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsom with reallifetrading.com. Hope you're doing absolutely wonderful, fantastic, and most illustrious. It is Friday and the weekend is here. The week has happened. The weekend is upon us. I hope you guys have a good, safe, and exciting time planned. So the SPY today on option expiration has closed down barely, I believe, from the close of Friday. So the market's closed right now. Nope, sorry, we closed up a penny. Closed up 1 penny. We did get a little bit of a white candle, so there's still some buying pressure going on here on the SPY. Here's your 100 simple moving average. Again, I don't have any position right now on the SPY. We're still below the 100, and time is running out for me to get my hair not cut into a mohawk. So the SPY just doing its thing. Everyone obviously now is going to be very excited about the IWM. The IWM, interesting little turn of events. There might be some of you who are in this one, some of you who are not in this one, some of you got out, some of you didn't get out. It's really going to depend. I think that's a fantastic thing. It's really fun and exciting to see about the weekly options newsletter because of the weekly options newsletter. I had a good buddy of mine say, "Hey man, I love credit spreads. So based on your analysis, I saw you were bullish on the IWM." So he got himself into a bull put spread, which expired worthless today. A 120, 118 bull put spread expiring today. A few other traders, right? We had a limit buy at $1.36 on those options. A lot of traders got in $1.36. Some got in $1.20. Some guys got in $1.12 the other day. Some traders got in the same day and sold the very next day for $1.70, as I mentioned on Wednesday. So it's just a really interesting thing. So with the actual weekly options newsletter, I will be doing it. My plan is exactly what it is written down. So in the options newsletter, I mentioned by the end of day Friday, if it was not up more than 1 hour, I would just go ahead and exit. So I did do that today for a small loss. You can see that it's very, very close to where we got in on the IWM. So lost much less than an R on the actual weekly option trade itself on the IWM. Edition 4 comes out next week. I will say for anyone watching the IWM, the Russell ETF, I love the fact that's at the 100 simple moving average. I love the fact that's a support, and I am still bullish on that. Speaking of bullish, the Qs look really good as well. I mentioned that back here it bounced off the 50, so let me go ahead and turn the exponential moving averages on. Here's your EMAs. So it bounced off the 50 once after it broke lower. Here's it potentially bouncing off again with a break lower. And if I had to guess, this candle has a lot of similarities of this candle right here. After kind of like a 3-day sideways move, there's a 3-day sideways move. So my analysis yesterday was if we get an inside day candle tomorrow, which we didn't get an inside day candle, it almost was, but be ready for a bullish pop on Monday. Still going to be keeping a very close eye on a bullish pop on Monday for the Qs. One could consider a 119 November, week 1, week 2, or regular expiration call option. It's a great way to trade Apple, Amazon, and Netflix, Google earnings without actually trading the stock, because if Apple, Netflix, and Amazon, I keep saying Netflix, Apple, Amazon, and Google all go bullish on earnings, then the Qs most certainly will go higher. The reason that the Qs went higher a little bit today was due to Microsoft. Beautiful gap today, very, very nice gap. So this analysis here, I mentioned yesterday before market opened, was that it would trade down and then potentially bounce. The reason I figured it would trade down is because it's opening at an all-time high. Microsoft made an all-time high today, never been higher, ever, ever, ever. So a lot of people selling that particular price on Microsoft. So this is a strong gap, ladies and gentlemen. I do expect it to continue bullish. Watch for this wave rotation on either the daily chart or the hourly chart. Entirely up to you. Looks like on the hourly chart, we're probably going to get a little bit more of a continuation lower, which makes sense. Again, an all-time high. Something like this potentially, and then kind of look to buy the dip, which you could do with put sales like Neil's, bull put spreads, or buy calls and or buy shares when it does pull back and bounce. And of course, you can always buy some puts on the downturn if you want. Speaking of Netflix, good Googa Mooga. Netflix is going bananas. I told you guys it would. I mentioned if it gaps above that level, it's going to be gone. So we got into some bull put spreads a few days ago on Netflix. I don't think those are going to have an issue. Neil's got some put sale at 115. It expired worthless for him. Stan and Dean getting called away for a nice gain. Good job, Stan and Dean. And looks like Netflix will hit that 130 resistance level and kind of go from there. So back on the 18th, I mentioned one could consider either put sales, bull put spreads, or anything else. Bullish is the direction. So the 18th was the actual day of the gap. So if you got into calls, bull put spreads, or put sales, we mentioned that it was extremely bullish. And on Netflix, it has absolutely moved. So at this point, just going to look to see what it does at that resistance. PayPal today, another one for you to keep your eyes on, ladies and gentlemen. PayPal, another great gap, great volume, closed above an all-time high. This is likely going to be a weekly options newsletter contender. We'll just keep an eye on it, but it's a really, really good bounce. So if and when PayPal can trade down a little bit and bounce off some of those moving averages, this could be a really good bullish play. So just kind of keep an eye on that one. Speaking earlier of Google making an all-time high the day before yesterday, really breaking out the all-time high, coming back down to retest it. Earnings are next week on Google. Same thing as a lot of the other trades, ladies and gentlemen. If Google gaps up on earnings, it's gone. Amazon, I actually think Amazon, of all the stocks out there, all the tech stocks, is the one that needs one of the most rests. It needs a pause here for a while. It has been just, look at this on a weekly chart. Look at this stock. Wow, just screaming bullish. It went from $475, Amazon, this year, to over $800, which is right at almost 100% growth. 450 to 850. It's very, very close. And that's Amazon. That's a huge move in a year. So yes, I'm being very hesitant on Amazon. I would love for Amazon to gap down on earnings, actually, then trade lower and then buy that dip. If it does gap down, we could be a little bit bearish, but of course it doesn't have to. It's a strong bullish trend. If it gaps up, this is one of the few stocks that if it really gaps up hard, I would look to actually short it. Apple, nice little black candle today. This lower wick is on all charting softwares and brokers, at least to my knowledge. So bottom line on Apple, earnings next week. You guys know the plan on Apple. If it gaps above 120, it's also gone. Let's go look at HCA for my good friend Mark Coleman. So HCA has earnings coming up. I'm going to come over here to a weekly chart, just get a really big perspective on this. And we're going to look at just candles. And what we're going to see here is a really nice trend. So this is a stock healthcare company here in Nashville, Tennessee. And we got ourselves a really nice little trend line. So the stock is making higher highs and higher lows. It traded up, had a healthy pullback right here. Yep, that was healthy. So at this particular juncture, what it looks like to me is it's going to start a new wave, right? That was a corrective cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something to that extent. This wave 4 could and probably will trade up all the way up to that high over the next few months, in which case we could retrace all the way back down to where we are now. And really what that would do is just form a big consolidation. So if it does something like this over the next really year and a half, that makes tons of sense to me. And then from there, of course, probably bullish, but could break in either direction on HCA. But overall, bullish to neutral, looks good. McDonald's today, I'm loving it. Nice lower shadow, good volume. A lot of traders getting into McDonald's long for a long-term swing trade back there at 116.45. And a lot of them getting triggered into some protective puts as it broke that support, holding over earnings. And you got a nice one white soldier bullish gap and go on McDonald's. So it's a strong gap. Thought maybe it would gap down, but it didn't. Here's your weekly chart on McDonald's. Here's your long-term moving average. And you'll see that the 100 is kind of propping it up. So I don't think McDonald's trades its way back down to 102. It, of course, could. And for anyone in the shares long-term, protect yourself on the way down with some put options, maybe some short-term money covered calls, and then see if McDonald's can bounce a little bit and kind of move from there. Should be interesting to see, but we'll find out. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, Monday, we're going to start it again. Brand new week. This week was good. Excited about it. We got a lot of swing trades out there. I say a lot. we have one swing trade with shares, and we do have a few with options. So this was the swing trade with shares, CyberArk Software. We got within pennies of getting stopped out yesterday. No idea if that trade actually ends up working or not. But there were so many options that expired worthless today. Let's just go ahead and go through them really quick. RIG, ticker symbol RIG, worthless. Went to option heaven, looking good. Ticker symbol BP, British Petroleum, options heaven, looking good. Ticker symbol PLAY, this is the one that was the closest for Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's expired worthless. Both of those put sales today. And by the way, If you hop over to Real Life Trading Facebook page, per that wager right there, I did take care of that wager that I made back in June on Dave & Buster's. First Solar, ticker symbol FSLR, nice confirmed invert head and shoulders. This put sale also expired worthless. Starbucks, Adrian, I didn't have a trade on this one. Adrian and a few others had a 5250 October put sale. That one expired worthless. 3D printing, DDD. Yep, won another one. Got another one. $13 put sale on DDD, expiring worthless. So there's a lot of them out there. Excited to get a lot of those going to options heaven, going about their happy ways, happy days. Gonna do it again next week, next month. We have a few credit spreads out there. IBM, we got ourselves the 142-141 IBM bull put spread, and the one I just showed you on Netflix for November week 2. And on Delta Airlines, we got the 35-34 bull put spread for November. So we have a few November spreads. Again, you guys can see here in the Real Life Trading Journal. We keep track of all our trades. But that's really about it. There's a lot of good trades, a lot of fun options expiring this week, and I'm excited to see what else happens out there, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, you're welcome to post in the comment section below any stocks that you guys want me to look at in Monday's Real Life Stock Review. As a quick reminder, the back trading webinar last night did get interrupted by a loss of internet. And Comcast knew about it because they gapped down today and had a little bit of a bearish candle from the close of yesterday. I actually don't know if they knew about it. I'm doubting it, but it was just funny to see Comcast down today. So yeah, Comcast internet failed last night, 8 minutes into the back trading webinar, and just totally just ruined the whole thing more or less. So gonna have to redo that. Keep an eye out on your inbox this weekend. I will resend the links for a new back trading webinar, and I'm planning to have another special announcement in that webinar next week, so make sure to be there. And if you're not there, I will record it. I get that question a lot. Yes, we will record it. Our mission, ladies and gentlemen, at Real Life Trading is to enrich lives, and we're going to do our absolute best to make sure that you guys are enriched every single day. I will see you Monday for the next Real Life Stock Review, and until then, ladies and gentlemen, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. See you later. Bye.